Welcome to another session of Microsoft Excel. Agenda for this video is pivot tables. So what is pivot tables? And what is the difference between a normal table and a pivot table? Let's understand that. So this is how a pivot table looks in Microsoft Excel. Okay? Pivot table is used to calculate, summarize and analyze data and help the user in comparing patterns and trends in data. So about the normal table, they are the fixed table. If you create it once, you will not be able to make any change. You have to create another sheet itself. But pivot table are flexible tables which give you entire data into a summarized form, and it will give you the subtotals of each record you say. Each data is calculated. If you click on any button, you will be redirected to the sheet and you will have a gist of from where the data is coming and everything, which is not possible in normal table, which is possible in pivot table. So let's get started. What is pivot table? It is a tool to calculate, summarize and analyze data and help the user in comparing patterns and trends in data. So it helps in calculate. How to calculate? We'll understand. It helps in summarizing. So you have a huge data set. If you want to summarize the data, pivot table is of great use. And it helps us in analyzing the data. Because what do you do with the data? You have to use it in analysis purposes. So it is used for analysis data. Help the user in comparing patterns and trends in data. Now, how to insert pivot table. So let's get started with the Excel and we'll get back to PPT after that. Okay. So this is the sheet. We are working on the same sheet. So what will we do is we select the data, we go to insert tab, or we don't select the data. We click on anywhere in the data. We go on the insert tab, we go on the pivot chart, we click on pivot chart. Okay, can you see whole data is selected and you can see it's like a dancing thing happening. So the whole data is selected from A1 to A50, correct? You can see here select a table or range. Now where you want the pivot table to be placed, new workbook or the existing workbook. Let's click in new worksheet. Okay, and I click on OK, and this is the chart. Now, so these are the pivot chart fields. These are all the headings of a column. Okay, we can drag fields between filters, legend, axis and values. Let's try. So we'll put segment here, we'll drag it here, or we drag it into axis. Okay, we put the discount in values, COGS in values and profit in values. If we remove gross sales, okay, put gross sales here. Okay, so can you see both the things are created, the table also and the chart also. From the table and chart both you can understand how the pivot table works and how you need to go forward. So let's see. These are the segments: channel partners, enterprise, government, mid-market, small business. And the total of COGS is done. So in your data, channel partner was given like 5 times. Already the total has been done. Enterprise 3 times, the total has been done. So these the total has been done and the grand total is also done as well. Okay, can you see what I just did? I'll just show it to you once again. So these are the channel partners. Now you need to know from where this amount came. Okay. So when we click on it, you can see, you can see channel partners. It is like 5, Canada, Mexico, because we filtered it out on the basis of segment and we did not filter it out on the basis of country. Okay. And you can see the whole set of data it's coming. Okay, if you want to check. Otherwise, it's pretty clear and pretty obvious if you can see here. And if you want to edit something, just click on the chart. Okay, just a second. Okay, okay, yeah. So when you click on the chart, okay, my tab is here. My tab is here, okay. And I want to make some changes in my pivot table. So I'll just select it. So there is analyze, design, and format. 3 tabs are coming. So these are the pivot chart tools. Pivot chart tools. Like we did it in normal charts, these are for pivot charts specifically. We can make as many changes as we want, as many filter as we want. You remember we did chart elements also in that. Axis title, chart title, data labels, data table, error bars, grid lines, legend, trend line. Everything is there in the chart elements. Okay, we can change the style, we can change the color. Can you see the changes are being made? Okay, okay. So this is about pivot chart. How we did? We went to insert, we clicked on pivot chart. You can see a new workbook will be coming. Okay, this is the data will be selected and you have to tell the Excel where you want to place it. You want to place this in the existing location, then you have to give the yes, give it as wherever you want to paste and click on OK. I am not doing it right now. I've already created it here. Correct? Okay, now I want to make a lot of changes. So let's see how. Okay. Suppose, okay, we want to remove, we want to change the data source, for example. So these are the data source. We just want segment till gross sales and we click on OK. It is only from segment to gross lanes. We see, to be very frank, there are so many functions. We need to click on each and every function and we have to check what that function does. Because if I tell you right now, if you don't practice it side by side, you will not be able to do it. So let's understand the basic and then we'll get into the details of analyze, design and everything. Okay, and formatting part, correct? We'll get into that later on. First understand what pivot table is all about. So you understood the difference between a normal table and a pivot table. Normal table, so normal table are fixed tables and pivot tables are flexible tables which give you the entire data, whereas entire data in a summarized form which will give you the subtotals and each record of you in a better fashion than a normal table, because in this you don't have to make multiple tables or anything. You don't have to filter it again and again. You can just do it once and you can just click of a button. You will be able to understand from where this amount came, from where that amount came, from where the COGS came, how many were there in the segments, how many were there in the country. Suppose if you want to filter it out only with the France, we can do it via country, and we can check only for the France. And for the France, we can check how much was the COGS, discount, profit, gross sales, everything we can check with one country with the help of pivot table.